Edwards and, of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go! Friday show, February 14th. I don't even have to look at the date. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, subscribe to Woodward Sports. If you're watching on X, good afternoon to you on the live feed. Braylon Edwards, happy Valentine's Day, my friend. Happy Valentine's Day.
Boy, this is an unnecessarily expensive day. 100%. It's mentally and financially expensive. But you know what? If you have a Valentine out there, you know the day is worth it in the long run, whether it's a wife or a girlfriend. So everyone out there, I say happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, Brittany. I will see you soon.
There you go, Tom Mazaway. Good afternoon to you, my friend.
Hey, guys. You guys are my Valentines.
Yeah,
I love that.
All you guys.
Now you got 3 daughters.
I do.
Are you and a wife?
I always get them something.
You're expected to get something.
I'm not expected.
Okay.
I do.
You do. What do you get? Like just as an example.
Socks.
No, I'll go to Bath and Body Works.
Yeah.
And I'll put a nice little package together. Some body lotions and
You're
all
great.
kinds
You're
of stuff
a great
like that.
guy.
Right.
I wrap
That's
them.
crazy.
I wrap them.
For all 4?
All 4. Each one.
Wow.
And I have 2 that aren't
That's
home.
why you have 2 jobs.
Yep. 3.
3. There it is. It makes sense.
And I put one in each of their rooms, even though 2 of them aren't home.
But when they
So
get home,
when they get home, it'll be there. Plus, I sent them a little something at school.
like a little cash app.
No, it isn't a cash app. I sent them some popcorn that they love.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I got to be one of Maz's kids. I didn't receive any Valentines from any one of my parents today. And I have 4 of them.
Pete Spivak, Ricky Burns here as well. How you fellas doing?
Good. I'm simple with I just do flowers. To me, this is like this is for girlfriends and boyfriends.
Let me ask you a question. What is a safe amount for a dinner reservation, Ryan and Ermanni on Valentine's Day?
What do you mean, like safe amount? Like how much you're going to spend on it?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's definitely individual, like
Situation
couple.
to situation?
So I am very fortunate with my wife. My wife is not a big gift getter. She doesn't care about gifts. She'd rather that if I told Nicole that I got a babysitter for the kids.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go we're gonna go to a movie, and spend 2 hours together and not say a word to each other. That would be a perfect night. Or if I said, "Hey, the kids are going to my mom's. Let's watch a movie. Throw a fire in the fireplace." Like she is. I'm very fortunate when it comes to that kind of stuff.
So that's when you've been married like 15 plus.
Time is her love language, basically.
Yes.
My wife is the same way.
Quality
she doesn't care
time.
about things. If I told her I'm calling off and just sitting at home, she's happiest woman in the world.
Yep.
My youngest daughter, she's got her boyfriend for the first time. So
Oh, man.
he's taking her out for dinner.
Yeah.
And, she's really looking forward to that. So for young love out there, it is a special holiday.
Agree.
Yeah. And my baby sister was born on Valentine's Day. Jenny, happy birthday to you. I wish I was spending it with you, but we'll catch up to you real soon.
I have a really good friend and brother who's born on Valentine's Day as well. Larnell, what's going on, brother? Happy birthday to you. Larnell lives in Miami, but he went to Michigan with me as well as King High School, so we go way back. But yeah, you're right. I wish this is like new love. It's just older love.
It's young love.
I'm 41 though.
Right.
I was talking to somebody at Fox 2
the
earlier
dividends
today.
are coming out.
And I won't tell you who.
Say less.
But they're like, "Hey, what are you doing for Valentine's Day?" I was like, we're not doing anything at all. I'm probably going to pick up sushi from Noble Fish on the way home.
Sounds good.
And we'll pick at it all night long. And I was like, "What are you doing?" She said, we're going out, and we're still new, so it's still a big night. And it is
young love.
It is that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is exciting. And I think back to when Nicole and I were dating. That's my wife's name. When Nicole and I were dating, we did stuff that we don't do now. You know what I mean? Now it's about the time. So
yeah. I'm in one of those new relationships. Brittany and I have been dating 18 months now. I guess it's not that new. But to that point, when you have these days, a birthday or a holiday or Valentine's Day, it is fun to go out, have dinner, do some things because it reminds you, okay, this is why we're doing this. This is what it is. So I would agree with that.
It is one of the worst nights to go out and try to get a
Sports-wise.
reservation
Yeah.
because
Right.
at the restaurants, this is where they make their money.
I couldn't even get
Right.
a reservation. Maz,
Right.
I'm glad you
You
said
should have
this.
called Joint.
So look, I got a reservation, but I'm gonna tell you how I got there. Legitimately, I called myself. Shout out to Joy Bell Parlay. Had him in the studio on Wednesday. I called myself planning ahead, Maz. I start trying to book February 4th.
Oh, that's too
That's
late.
too late. Yeah.
That's way late.
Well, it's late, but it's me. Like it's me. Shmi.
Go to me next time. I got you covered.
I ended up getting what I'm telling you. Like, it's February 4th, but it's me. Like, I go, hey, what's going on? How you doing? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, Capitol Grill closed. 220 closed. Fleming's closed. Down the street.
Oh, yeah, they got
Eddie
nothing.
V's closed. Like, everybody had nothing. So now I'm like, February 7th.
You mean booked,
I'm
not
packed.
closed.
Yeah, right.
Booked.
Booked.
No, the books are closed,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fast forward February 7th, like, I linked up with my mentor. He got me a Joe Muir. But,
Oh, the mentor.
100, you said what?
The mentor.
The mentor came through for me, man. The mentor came through. But yeah, I got Joe Muir down the street. But
Now, oh, you're not going to the one down at Rensen?
no,
I had the hookup at Rensen for you.
I appreciate that. I get it.
Who's your hookup at the Rensa?
I got Wayne. Wayne's my,
Oh,
is my guy.
Wayno.
Wayno is my
We
man.
love
My man.
Wayno.
You know what my mentor's hookup is? The name on the restaurant.
Oh,
I hope it's free.
Vicari? Or
Yeah,
me-
Joe, you know,
Yeah.
you know about it.
Yeah.
That's why
You
that
know
outing
about it.
every year in that outing, I'm at
yeah,
Joe's outing.
of course.
Man's like, Bray, you working today? Joe's got an outing.
Yeah,
Joe
absolutely.
Vicari for sure.
Fellas, how about a little something Valentine's Day related just as we get into the show? You ready for this?
Hey, it's Jim Kelly's birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday,
The great
Jim Kelly. You got a little beat for me or anything, Ricky?
Yeah.
You know
Footfalls
what?
in Buffalo.
Okay, here we go, guys. You ready?
Let's do it.
The most famous athletes, the best athletes ever to wear the number 14.
Ooh.
Okay, you ready for this? In baseball, we all know who it is, right?
Babe
Yes.
Ruth.
No.
Maz. I'm shocked.
14.
Maz.
Oh, Pete Rose.
Thank you.
I was waiting for him to say it. I didn't want to do anything. I'm like,
All right. So
Sorry.
Pete Rose. In basketball, how about the great Bob Cousy?
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
The Big O, Oscar Robertson.
Big O.
Okay. In football, not very many greats in football. You ready for this? Who the
It's-
list spits out?
It's a quarterback.
It is a quarterback.
What era?
It's
Early.
2000s.
Early 2000s. 14.
Oh, no.
Greasy was 12. No, he wore 12.
Early
He's talking about Brian Greasy,
2000.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, Ken Anderson.
Ken Anderson. No, oh.
Well, Ken Anderson wore 14.
Well, there you go. The Red Rifle.
Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton.
I never would
Andy
have
Dalton.
guessed that.
Andy Dalton and Dan Fouts.
Okay.
Fouts.
Dan
Yeah,
Fouts is
there you
one
go.
of them. Okay, in soccer they spit out a couple, but we don't care about that.
It's not 10.
How about in hockey? Hockey. It is a Detroit Red Wing.
I got
That they
Bobby
spit out.
Bourne of the
This is
Islanders.
a weird number.
It's a
Right, I
weird
can't even
number.
think of it.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, obviously, locally now.
Yeah.
But for the
Ah.
Detroit Red Wings, number 14, one of the all-time greats in the NHL.
Frank.
Nick? Chell? No.
Currently involved with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh, Shanny.
Shanny.
Brendan.
Brendan Shanahan.
Nice.
And then a little nugget here when it comes to Detroit sports history, some of the best number 14s. You've got Amon-Ra St. Brown currently. You've got the great Dave Bergman, of
Okay.
course, Bergie.
I wouldn't have guessed that one.
Here's what Scott Hastings.
Okay.
Remember Scott Hastings of the back-to-back Pistons? This one, Jim Bunning, is good. And you know who they also list on here? How about this one? Sweet Lou Whitaker.
Because he started
yeah.
at 14.
Lou Whitaker, his rookie year was 14 before switching to number 1.
How about that?
How about that? Who would
How
have
about
known that? Huh?
Nice job on that, right?
How about that?
Yeah, that was nice.
Little Valentine's Day number 14. How about
Andy
it?
Dalton.
Yeah.
Going back
Ken
there.
Anderson before him. That's the guy that did.
Right.
Boomer Esiason.
And Dan Fouts, really. too.
Boomer was seven.
Fouts was a
Yeah.
really
Boomer
good
was
one.
half of that.
I was joking.
Dan Fouts was a good one.
Yes.
Hey, speaking.
Oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
I was going to say, speaking of the
Yeah.
Tigers, Scott Harris spoke today a little bit. Did you know that?
Yeah, you got the sheet.
I do got the sheet.
And we have it. We can put up for it.
Let's see that because I love his
you go
response.
to the 3 o'clock.
Yep, I got it.
See that.
But since we were talking about Lou Whitaker, I wanted to bring it up here, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course. I think it's the lead story.
I agree. Did you think? Are you serious?
Yes,
yes,
I do
too. That's all right. That's all right, Pete. No problem.
All right, Pete. Come on now.
Here's Scott Harris from earlier today talking
Pete.
about Alex Bregman not coming to Detroit. Here's the quote. "We want players who want to be here. I say it a lot because I mean it. We want players who want to be Tigers. We made a very compelling offer to Alex Bregman, but he chose to sign somewhere else. That's fine. We knew that was a possibility throughout the process, and we planned for that outcome. We're fortunate to be in a spot where we have an owner in Chris Ilitch, who gives us flexibility to chase elite free agents. We're going to land some of those guys sometimes, like we did with Jack Flaherty. Sometimes we're not, and that's fine. But heading into this entire process, we knew that, given all the work that had been done on the acquisition and development front, we're going to be able to run out a really good team with or without Alex Bregman. We have Jace Young, who mashed his way through the minor leagues. Left-handed hitter, deserves a lot of reps at his level."
Mashed.
Come on, Maz.
Come on, man.
We have Matt Vierling, who is a versatile and athletic right-handed. Stop, Maz. Who put up sneaky good year last year. And we have Andy Ibanez, who's a lefty killer who really plays good defense at third base. Those guys are going to help us win a lot of games this year. We also have a lot of young talent coming really fast through the farm system, and a lot of them play on the left side of the infield. We're going to be just fine without Alex Bregman, and we still have a clubhouse that just got to the postseason and just beat a team with Alex Bregman.
Ooh.
So it clearly can be done. We just got to focus on the guys we have in camp right now.
3.
And we got to get after it in spring training because we got to get a lot better to be able to compete in this division. I love this response. We just made it to the postseason, and we just beat a team with Alex Bregman on it.
And what did you say when they made the postseason? What's the worst thing that could have happened to this team?
That they made the postseason, and they rest on their laurels. But I will tell you, they did not. They did not rest on their laurels. They went out and they signed the best free agent starting pitcher on the market, in many people's opinions, in Jack Flaherty. They went out and made the best offer to Alex Bregman, who many people believe is the best free agent out on the market. They made a trade at a position of need because they had to move Colt Keith to first base because it's just not working out with Spencer Torkelson.
Not yet.
Not yet. This team did everything they had to do except land the right-handed bat that they desperately need, and they're not done yet. John Morosi today saying that this team will likely trade for Nolan Arenado. Maz, you've been saying this for a number of weeks now that you thought that was the guy, and Braylon, they're not done yet. I think for as much as you have to, as much as we've criticized Chris Ilitch over the years, I think he did exactly what he had to do this offseason. You cannot force people to sign the contract before them. All you can do is offer it to them.
Yeah.
It was offered. He declined it. You move on to the next guy.
Hear me out when I say this, because this is no negative connotation. I like the move. Just hear me out when I say it. All right, I like the move. Matt, you ready for this?
Yeah.
This is called Scott Harris is playing a different game. Scott Harris is playing chess. Scott Harris offered Alex Bregman a contract he knew Alex Bregman would not take. He offered him a contract he knew that he would not take. Then he leaks the information so that we know that he went after Alex Bregman. They really didn't want Alex Bregman, to be honest. I believe the Arenado move is low-key under the radar, the move that they really want. I think he leaks all this information. It's no need to mention the Jack Flaherty move, because Jack Flaherty, what did he say before he left? I'm coming back.
Yeah.
So this wasn't an individual that left and we didn't know what it was going to be. He said that he was coming back. So I like this. He leaked all this. He's setting it up. I don't say that he's setting it up to say something, it's deceptive and this, that, and the third. I think he's playing the game, and I like the game that he's playing. I'm just pointing out that this is a game, though, Maz. Would you agree?
No doubt. And I've been telling you since I heard him last week when Flaherty came, and he spoke, and he's like, look, we want guys that want to be here.
Yeah.
He said that. So he's playing on our heartstrings. We're all Detroiters. We're pride. You don't want us? We don't want you. We basically tell you to F off if you don't like us. And that's what we're telling Alex Bregman. We didn't like you as an Astro. We're going to despise you as a Red Sox. And Scott Harris, I'm buying into what you're putting out there.
Yeah.
The only thing is you need right-hand hitting.
You need somebody.
You need right-hand hitting. Put that lineup up again, Pete. You can't – I guess you could open the season with this team, but you can't keep this team and expect them to win 90 games. Because I think 90 games is going to win that division this year. I know everyone thinks it's a pathetic division. It's not. When they won in 2002, they had 96 wins. Last year, they had 86 wins. All right? 86. This year, they need 90 or more.
Who won last year? 92?
I'd have to look it up.
Cleveland won it.
Guardians had 92, I think.
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, you can't go all year with that lineup. That lineup will not work all year. It's punch and Judy hitters up and down the lineup. And you have
92.
And you have Javi Baez in the lineup. He's a zero. He's not going to miraculously become El Mago again when he was with the Cubs. He's just not. And he's in your lineup. Good pitching. We'll see if the bullpen can pull out what they did last year. I hope they can. But a move has to be made. Nolan Arenado, his numbers have gone down steadily. They have. He's 34, so 2 more years older than Bregman. But he's making $25 a year now, roughly. If they pay half that, 12 and a half, 13, that's a good deal to have him for the next 2 years because he is outstanding in the field. So if you could save a run on the field, there you go. You could score your 3 or 4 runs and win 90 games. That's where I'm at.
Maz, I'm going to ask you a question. I think you would know better than anybody. Look, I understand what I believe Javi Baez to be in the last 3 years as a Detroit Tiger and what I think he is and what he is no more. But for some reason, Scott Harris still believes that maybe it's the 168 that they don't want to eat. Is there a chance that there's something left to Javi Baez? Not necessarily 2017 Chicago Cubs, but is there potentially something still left in that tank on the offensive side?
I mean, yeah. He's done it before. Okay. He just hasn't done it as a Tiger. And he's very good on the field most of the time.
Defensively.
When his throws sometimes are horrible. And now you're putting Colt Keith, who's never played first base, at first. Hey, look, I was a Torque fan. I still am. And there was word out that they told him, hey, look, we got these indoor batting cages now at Lakeland. They've put millions of dollars. I watched Jennifer Hammond. She put out a video the other day. She took it for a tour of Joker Marchant and Lakeland. It's beautiful. And they have, and he, you know what he said? I don't need to look at video. I'm old school. I'll be fine, is what he said. And there's a lot of people that rubbed the wrong way because this guy couldn't even get in the freaking lineup, or he was a black hole in the lineup last year. And I like him. And I hope he can come back and almost duplicate his rookie year.
I agree with you when you look at that lineup, and again, just to bring it all to a head. Yes, I agree that Alex Bregman is not a Tiger. Fine, there's nothing you could do about that. Whether or not it was a fake offer, or an offer you couldn't refuse, or an offer they knew he wouldn't take, whatever the case may be, they don't have the player. And it does change how I feel about the 2025 Tigers, about the ceiling for this team. I still think they're a playoff caliber team. I don't know if they're an AL Central Division champion team. I think they'll compete. I certainly don't believe they can win a World Series with the lineup.
So Bregman is that good of a player.
I think he's that good of
it's potentially time.
I think he's that good of an offensive bat because I think you're in a 2-year window.
Yeah.
It's this year and next. It's this year and next if you truly want to make a run at a World Series, because I don't believe, and I hope to God I'm wrong, every day you go in not extending Tarek Skubal is a day where the price goes up.
Oh, yeah.
It goes up every day.
Cha-ching.
Today's price ain't tomorrow's price. And tomorrow's price is just going to keep getting higher. So you have 2 years to get it done.
Yeah.
If you had a crappy, year 5, year 6 of Alex Bregman, would it matter if you've got a championship under your belt?
No.
Would that
Would be
matter?
awesome.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's
It's only been 41 years.
right. It's kind of like the Lions. Do you care if you don't have the next 3 years of a first-round pick?
Nope.
If Myles Garrett helps you win the Super Bowl this year, do you
them
really
picks.
care?
Nope.
Does that bother you? Does it bother you that much that you don't have a first-round pick
No.
in 2027 and 2028?
I don't even care if we're good.
Right.
We can go 0-17.
We got to get you and Anson on the desk at the same time. That would be fun to
With
watch.
boxing gloves.
Does it matter that much to you?
No, it doesn't.
So what I'm saying is, I look at these next 2 years and I just say, don't blow it. You have everything in place. You need one more piece, and I think they know they need one more piece. And whether that's Arenado or not, I think they're going to go get it. I think that lineup that you just saw on the screen a moment ago is not the lineup that you will see on opening day. I think Scott Harris has that urgency. I think Chris Ilitch has that urgency. And I think this baseball club has that urgency. And they will make a move for a big bat. I truly believe that.
If Arenado's a big bat.
They still have $170 million.
I mean, if you
just of dumb math.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're willing to put that money out there, you're willing to put that money into the market. Just for craps and giggles. This team in home, only 6 teams in baseball hit fewer home runs than the Detroit Tigers did last year. When it comes to average, I'm an old school guy. I liked batting average, okay? Sue me for the new kids out there. There are only 6 teams out there who had a worse batting average. The Chicago White Sox, Seattle Mariners, LA Angels, Tampa Bay Rays, Cincinnati Reds, and Oakland Athletics. That's not the group you want to be lumped in
None of them
with.
made the playoffs.
No, and some of them were historically bad. When it came to strikeouts, how much this team strikes out, you talk about finding the zone, swinging through the zone. Only 6 teams in baseball struck out more than the Detroit Tigers. I mean, this offense was bad.
It is.
Now, I do believe Parker Meadows is going to have a breakout year. I do believe if he does that, Riley Green is going to increase his numbers. Colt Keith, not a rookie. You know, will he have a sophomore slump or will he continue to rise? These are all things that we projected last year, though.
Yeah.
We counted so much that these guys were just going to automatically take that next step. Oh, all this young talent, these names that we heard in this organization for years and years and years and years. And then you get to the big league club in April and May, and you're like, Parker Meadows got to go down. Spencer Torkelson got to go down. You know, I mean, it didn't work out. It doesn't work out. Like, that's why you need these veterans to be mixed into these young guys.
Yeah, you got to infuse those veterans and veterans that can still play, still have bats, still be offensively effective on this team, because a lot of that was pure dumb luck last year. Like, you can say what you want to, and we talked about this, man. I mean, Ryan, we all said the same thing. Like, you'll never win like this again. You got to infuse what you've already done. You saw some young growth last year. You saw some players take a step that you believe in, but you got to put those veterans around them, man. Like, veterans are key to every sport. It doesn't matter if it's baseball, basketball, football. You put the veterans on the line. You put the right type of veterans. It enhances the brand. Just look at the Pistons. You put some good veterans around them. Look what the Pistons are able to do.
Listen, they might wait until the All-Star break. They might wait to make a trade by then, because the Yankees need a guy as well, and Arenado's on their list as well. Now, listen, he's been definitely on the decline. He'll be 34 coming in April.
He's got 3 years left, too, right?
Yeah, he's got 3 years left, and they're paying him close
And
to
a
like
no-trade
26.
clause.
Yeah, he's got to say okay. He said no to the Cubs. So will he say yes here to Comerica? I don't know. And I don't even know if he's the answer. Maybe that guy is still out there somewhere. And
no doubt.
We just got to wait it out and see how they start the year.
No doubt about it. I did want to – I know this is totally manufactured, and I put this out yesterday, but I wasn't here to talk about it. But I consider Alex Bregman enemy number 1 currently in all of the 4 major sports. Right now, as a Detroit sports fan, there isn't one guy in the game – in baseball, football, basketball, hockey, that I consider more of an enemy number 1 than Alex Bregman.
Not Patricia?
No. I mean, he's a
Player
coach.
wise.
He's a
player
coach.
wise. Gotcha.
You know, I mean, and I put this list up,
P, let's get that
yesterday. I
list.
put this list up.
Ron Artest.
Ron Artest, my top 5 most hated players in Detroit sports history, in no particular order. Ron Artest, Claude Lemieux, Michael Jordan, Sidney Crosby. Now you can add Larry Bird to the mix.
Sure.
You can add Chris Chelios to the list when he was a Blackhawk before he came
You can
here.
add Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre on that
Brett
list.
Favre. Yeah, I was going to say Brett Favre is definitely up there.
But I think Alex Bregman currently, and again, manufactured for sure, right? Because we hate people
He pissed us off.
here in Detroit that don't want to be here. We hate people that hate us.
That's a fact. Why are we like that? But we are. I kind of like it.
Prince Fielder? Could he be on there?
Nah.
I feel like
Fielder,
I feel like he had a little attitude before he left.
Nah, he did all right.
Yeah. You got anybody, Maz, that you can think of?
Like I said, I just threw out a couple as far as
No,
I go.
I'm talking about currently.
Yeah.
Current players.
Okay, current players.
current players.
Baseball-wise.
Anybody.
Oh, you know who I hate. I just go right to the Astros.
Okay.
Who's the
little
little
man.
who's the little midget?
Jose
I hate?
Altuve.
Jose Altuve.
Altuve.
I despise Jose Altuve.
I know you hate him, but I'm just talking about Detroit sports.
Yes.
Like, who would be the ire of Detroit sports fans? I mean, there is.
I know. How about the 2 Guardians last year that beat us?
There you go.
Yeah, Stafford.
And their name is Lane. Lane Thomas is one.
Yes. There
And
you go.
Martinez is, or
Who was the other guy that smashed a couple of home runs off of us late in that year? I would say a couple of the Guardians.
Okay.
For sure.
We hate them so much that we
do.
forgot their names.
We forgot their names. Lane Thomas was one.
Yeah.
He
Bird,
broke our hearts.
Like Bird, Jordan back in the day. Are we going that far?
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, but I'm just talking about who do we have currently in sports that you could go, I'm going to buy a ticket because I hate that guy so much. I can't wait to go boo him.
LeBron James.
LeBron.
Yeah.
I feel like Stafford right now is polarizing.
That's
you either
right.
hate him or you love him.
You're right,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford was
good
up
one.
there on mine. It's starting to wane a little bit now for me.
Right.
But for those 2 years, I really hated him.
Same.
Chili Damon, CJGJ would be on that list
There you
for
go.
him. That's a pretty good.
Kelly Stafford from Sound Kayak.
Yeah. I mean, it just goes to show you as well that there aren't any rivalries right now. That's why if you watch the Pistons a little bit, this rivalry that they've got going back and forth with the Pacers a little bit right now.
Players has Halliburton.
Tyrese Halliburton, that's
Yeah.
a good one. Miles Turner. I mean, you're getting into this a little bit with the Pistons.
Who beat us the other day with the Cavs?
Trey Young.
No, the 3.
Oh,
I don't like Trey Young either. Cavaliers.
Darius
Garland.
Garland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garland.
Stephen Kwan, says Jessica Dean, the
Stephen Kwan.
the leadoff hitter.
He
for the,
batted like a
Tribe.
900 against us.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just pretty incredible when you think about the lack of.
It's a lot easier if you go back to the old days. To think right now.
But again, do you know?
that shows you how bad we've been.
Yes, that's
Yes.
the point, Maz.
Yes.
That is the point. Back 20, 30 years ago,
We had major
back
rivals.
15 years ago, you could just rattle one after the next,
Yep.
after the next, after the next.
You're absolutely
because
right.
our teams were so good
Yep.
that you had a rivalry in every sport. I mean, even the Lions losing to Aaron Rodgers every year, Brett Favre in the playoff game,
Yeah.
Sterling Sharp, things like this. The Red Wings every year, Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin,
Patrick
even
Waugh.
Patrick Waugh, Claude
Lemieux.
Lemieux.
On and on with those Avalanche players.
Absolutely. So, yeah, anyway.
How about Wolverines? Jack Sawyer.
Seriously, there you go. That might be one. Ben Johnson could be enemy number
He
one
is.
For a lot of
He
people
is.
as well. That's from Players.
I hated Jared Allen for a while when he's with the Vikings.
Oh, there you go.
Full
That's a
State
real-
Farm says Travis Swift.
Travis Swift.
That's a good one.
That's funny.
It's not a Detroit thing, but it's a good one.
Yeah, something to keep, something to have some fun with. All right, guys, we'll take a break. Come right back. We'll go around the NFL. Lots of NFL discussion to get to.
Hell yeah.
Anybody paying attention to the Four Nations as well?
I
watched
am.
a little bit last night.
I
It was, pretty decent.
Pete,
You didn't see the game before that.
No, I saw the 6-1.
you're
It was
Yeah.
3-1, 4-1. I turned it
Yeah.
off. But that's it. We'll take a break, and when we come back, more. But first, a message from Caesars.
Yeah, it's not working.
Your mic's not working. Not working. All right. Nobody.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Hey, guys, if I told you could place any bet up to 1,000, and if you lose, you'll get that bet back, you would think I'm crazy. But I'm not. Scan the QR code, enter the code Woodward1000, and if your first bet doesn't hit, you'll get your deposit back up to $1,000. That's right, $1,000 back just for giving it a shot. Minimum bet, $20. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Don't forget, use the code Woodward1000 or scan the QR code on the screen. Good luck.
Before we get back into the NFL, or before we get into the NFL, because we've got some pretty good NFL-related talk today, I think. Maz, you are the expert on the Four Nations tournament. You have a little fun last night watching the games?
I did. I've loved both of these. I love Olympic hockey. And at this time of the year, every year, I get that twinge in my heart and in my throat because it reminds me of the Miracle on Ice. I watched Miracle the other day just because I was in the mood to watch it again. February 22nd, obviously, is the big one against Russia. It'll be 45 years this year, which is unbelievable to me. But last night, U.S. knocked out Finland 6-1. They were down 1-0. They put 6 straight goals in. The Kachuk brothers dominated. Tomorrow is the game, guys. You got to tune it in. Sean McDonough on the call. ABC, ESPN, USA, and Canada in Montreal. That place will be off the hook. The final, when it's the two best teams, and it will be U.S. and Canada again, the following Saturday on the anniversary of Miracle on Ice, and that will be in Boston this time on ABC. I love this kind of hockey. The NHL regular season, you could have it. You could have it. This is a great thing. They put the All-Star game, which is their All-Star game, is horrible now. It used to be good. It's horrible now. Thank God they got rid of it this year. Gary Bettman did a good thing. Next year he's doing something else like a World Cup type thing. I love when the nations go together. Braylon had a great idea about basketball.
I'm glad you brought that up. I was going to ask Ryan that same question. Yesterday, Ryan, I posed a question to Anson as well as Mass, Ricky, and Pete. I said, you see what they're doing, and this is very fun. When it comes to representing your country, players tend to show up. Players tend to keep it intense because you want to represent it well. The All-Star format for basketball, what if on Sunday, All-Star game day, as opposed to what they do now, which we'll see.
I don't even know how it's going to work.
I disagree with Anson. Anson likes the format. I just think it's chaos.
No, it's terrible.
I think it's more chaos. What if you did North America versus the world? So I don't care what you do on Saturday. You can keep figuring that part out. But on Sunday, if you give us North America versus the world, and I use North America because there's some good players in Canada. We want to SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's probably
you'd want to involve him.
Jamal Murray is a couple players over there. RJ Barrett, just more to have depth, but versus the world.
I think that's great.
And now, because America's not going to want to lose to the world, and the world's not going to want to lose to America in proof that we really are that.
It's a great idea.
I love the Olympic brand of sports. It's great.
Well, you do tend to play a lot harder when you've got your country across the front of your chest than when you've got East or West or whatever. There's no doubt.
Just to let you know, when I was a kid, East versus West in the NBA, it was cutthroat.
Yeah.
They hated each other.
Yeah.
It was fun.
No
and
doubt.
It's not anymore. I mean, the Pro Bowl used to be fun.
Yeah.
It's jumped the
you had
shark.
Sean Taylor knocking people out.
That was like the last time the Pro Bowl was real.
Yeah.
When he knocked Brian Moorman out cold, the punter.
That was the 07 Pro Bowl from the 06 season. Because I made the next year, I was like, dang, where's Sean Taylor at? Like, I actually wanted to be a part of that because I knew he was a special player. He ended up passing that following year. But, man, he laid that punter.
So we got All-Star Weekend this weekend. You got hockey doing the Four Nations, and you got the NBA All-Star Game from Golden State.
So let's talk a little NFL now if we could.
Our favorite sport.
And I'll tell you, I hate to be a little bit of a prophet, but I feel like I got the ball rolling on this stuff. The biggest domino this offseason will be Matthew Stafford. There's no doubt.
You've been on this for a minute.
There's no doubt in my mind about it. And yesterday, 6 days after I said it, Colin Cowherd and Albert Breer talked about it. The Rams want the number 3 pick from the Giants for Matthew Stafford per Colin Cowherd. Cowherd says the Rams don't want to restructure Stafford's deal and are getting tired of his wife constantly talking to the public. The Rams could then look to trade down from 3 to acquire more picks next year to move up for a quarterback. So they're all about the next 2 years in acquiring picks. And Matthew Stafford, is the Giants roster good enough where he can help get them through and win games over the next couple of years?
He'll bring Kupp with him.
There is no question in my mind that Stafford is the key to the offseason. There's not going to be a lot of movement until the Rams decide what to do with Matthew Stafford. The Giants, it feels like that is the natural fit because they have the 3rd pick. Now, will the Giants give up the 3rd pick for Matthew Stafford? I'm not so sure, but it is out there, man. It is out there.
May I?
Please, this is your squad, the New York Giants.
The reason that they will, Rye, is because, and I listened to Colin, you sent that to me. It was a great take, and I'm going to go over it with you. The Giants, they've got basically Matt Patricia and who was our GM? Quinn?
Yeah.
Who did they take with their pick?
Malik Neighbors?
No. Quinn and Patricia. When it was their last time.
Jeff Okudah.
They took Jeff Okudah from need because they felt if they didn't get this guy, they couldn't wait. If they drafted Tua, they didn't have time to wait. These 2 clowns will be out of there by Thanksgiving.
That's a great point.
By Thanksgiving, unless they win now. So to have Matthew Stafford come over, they have a pretty good defense. They got some good talent. They got Malik Neighbors. They got a great tight end that they drafted. Running back, they're a little weak. Maybe they bring Cooper Kupp in and put him on the other receiver. Matthew Stafford, they can win 9-10 games. Easily. They can. Now, here's the kicker. The Rams won't have a quarterback this year. They're not going to draft one this year. They're going to wait. You heard. They're going to move that pick to try to get other picks. He said, and he's heard this, Aaron Rodgers might land in Los Angeles and play for 1 or 2 years when they draft their quarterback and they play under him, he gives them almost, I'll say almost, the same chance that Matthew Stafford gives them in the time right now. You know, he lives out in L.A. as well. He's got homes everywhere. And that's where he's from. He's from the San Francisco Bay Area. I mean, Los Angeles ain't the Bay Area, but it's close enough. I laughed. I didn't think it was any chance of it. But the more I think about it, I've almost talked myself into it.
And isn't that exactly why we love the NFL?
Yes.
Because of these possibilities. Now, years ago, before Tom Brady truly shopped himself out of New England, you had the Peyton Manning and you had Joe Montana.
Those were force outs.
But those were force outs at the end of their career.
Yeah.
I mean, we've never had this type of quarterback movement as openly as we do now. Brady, Stafford, Russ. I mean, that was a big deal back when Russ went to the Broncos.
Yeah.
I love it. I hope it happens because it makes the NFL interesting.
It's like a soap opera.
Absolutely.
I think it's
telenovela.
And I also think that there's a tread left on that tire. You know, look, man, it's all about situations. You put an individual in a better situation. Last year, the offensive line wasn't the best for the New York Jets. They had to figure some things out, and he looked early on in that season. But by the end of the season, there was something left. And I think there's enough left there where, if placed in the right situation, keyword, right situation where the offensive line is going to give you that time to protect. The wide receivers can get open and be on to them where they can put up with what you are or what you're trying not to be. If that situation's out there, and if it's the 49ers, there could be one last hurrah, if you will. And my fellow draft classmate, I think it's something left.
And don't you think, too, like Stafford is the kind of guy now that he's not going to go to like a Jacksonville-type team. Now that you play in a big-time market like L.A., you can only go to a big-time market like New York.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of look at a lot of these sports. You got guys going from coast to coast, you know, big market to big market. He's a big market guy, and I think he would love to play for the New York Giants. I think he would fit perfectly there.
Put them back on the map.
Absolutely. If you could win in L.A. and New York, isn't that something?
But Aaron Rodgers, under the tutelage of Sean
McVay,
I think that would be fun to watch. Look what he did for Baker Mayfield.
Listen to me.
In the short time he was there.
Stafford and Cup in New York. Rodgers, Adams
in
L.A.
Oh, wow.
Because Devontae Adams was one of the Rams and the Chargers are two teams. They're the two highest teams
on his list.
On his list and in Vegas to land Devontae Adams.
Can you imagine two New York teams making a trade with the Rams? It's odd.
And by the way,
the Jets would have to make that deal.
Speaking of the Jets, I forgot who the NFL person was, but they said that the Aaron Rodgers stuff that is so blown out of proportion and not the case.
Really?
That the Jets told Aaron Rodgers that he couldn't do the Pat McAfee show. Said that's just not true. And
who was it, Rich Cimini?
I don't know.
That's who covered
said
it.
it's just not true, and it was totally blown out of proportion, and they didn't know how stuff like that gets out.
I don't believe him. I like believing what I said.
It wasn't him. It wasn't Rich Cimini. It was one of the ESPN NFL
guys.
I
know. I like believing that the Jets told him to take a walk. I like that.
Well, they did tell him to take a walk, but not because of the McAfee stuff.
We'll see. You don't know.
No, I don't know.
I think it's more fun thinking about that, though.
But I like to deal in facts.
He's been bossing them around for 2 years.
Even loose facts.
Yeah.
All right? Even loose facts. I like to deal around in that, okay? But, like, just outright lies, I can't deal with that.
All right.
I can't deal with that.
No, I definitely understand. I believe that Maz is on to something with that. Like, I think that they didn't like the podcast. I think that was a huge part. Whether they said that or not, it was a part of it, I believe.
I'm not ready to be done with Aaron Rodgers in the NFL.
No, we need him.
I'm not ready to be done.
He provides
We need
to
him.
be a subject.
I still say, if it all fails here, I still say the 49ers are his place.
I think you're right.
With Brock Purdy with a bad elbow.
I think you're right.
Is there another average squad that may make the playoffs, may not make the playoffs that he would go to?
I think it's got to be an NFC team. I
Saints,
really do.
Maybe?
I mean, if you look at why would anybody want to go to the AFC? right now.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Why, you think the AFC is more superior?
I think the AFC
got
is
more
more
superior
superior because they have
quarterbacks.
more superior quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Josh Allen, Lamar, Patrick, like those are problems. Joe Burrow.
I don't know. I kind of like my NFC quarterbacks.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine. But which NFC quarterback would you take
Over
Mahomes,
All right.
Burrow, Allen,
All
or
right.
Lamar?
All right.
I just gave you 4 guys there.
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, the best quarterback in the NFC
You
is
take Jaden Daniels over who? Of the 4 I gave you.
I'm not. I'm not.
I wouldn't either.
I'm
I
not.
would not take Jaden Daniels over one of those 4 quarterbacks that I just
No.
listed.
I
best,
can't.
the best quarterback in the NFC is at best 5th in the AFC.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're right. You're right.
That.
Yeah, 100%.
1,000% accurate
Yeah.
comment. At best.
100%.
Um,
Don't let him mess around and get Herbert back together. It's another one.
And look, I think Justin Herbert,
I'm just
and it
messing with
pains me
you.
to say this. It pains me to say this. I've never really been a Herbert guy.
Same.
I think Justin Herbert is now going down the same road
Jared.
as Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
Did you hear that other false rumor that was out there?
What was
that?
that?
The Steelers reached out to the Jags for Trevor Lawrence?
Yes, I know who put that out.
You do?
Ryan Burr. We used to work with him in Toledo. Well, I worked at one station in Toledo.
Yeah.
He worked at the other.
What was he telling the truth?
I mean, he probably heard it from somebody.
Like a drunk guy at a party?
No, I mean, just, he's
Because you heard stuff from drunk guys at parties.
Yeah,
before.
yes, I did.
That we haven't put on the air.
Yeah, absolutely. I
But
have.
they sounded like great stuff.
Yeah.
Can't wait to say this.
Right. I have. There's no doubt about it. But you pick it again. I will deal in loose facts even sometimes, but you cannot deal in lies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You cannot deal in something that you know is a lie.
But don't you like the guy that has had a few drinks and he's talking to a bunch of guys at a
Yes.
party and he's like, "Hey man, I told you, I heard this. This is what happened. Jared Goff, blah blah blah.
Right.
Before the game, blah blah blah.
Right.
This, blah blah blah.
Food poisoning, blah blah
Exactly. Yeah. Food poisoning. Yeah. That's,
You know.
Really? Yeah. I'm telling you, man. That's what happened. I know the doctor.
Right.
That's all.
The what were we talking about?
We're talking about loose facts.
Loose facts.
The Ryan Burr put that.
Yeah.
You know, Ryan Burr's a golf guy though, and he's from Pittsburgh, so he probably heard through somebody who
At the golf course.
At the,
At
you
the
know what I
golf
mean?
course.
Heard through somebody, so it's not like he's even reporting it. Probably just heard from a friend of a friend who's dialed in.
It's like not even his
probably
wheelhouse.
in Pittsburgh. It's not even. Yeah, he covers golf for NBC now. You know, what I mean, it's not like he's covering the team. Hey Ryan, you met my friend Ken this morning. How was the food? Oh yeah. Hey Chris, how are you, my Chris? $5 in the super
Chris
chat.
Blackburn.
Where'd you have some food
Absolutely.
at? Who'd they bring in?
Good food.
Good food.
Okay.
Good food.
Good answer. Good answer. Good
Mad
answer.
with the assist.
Yes. Hey, I wanted to get to this. Just talking about next season, okay? And we talk about Myles Garrett. I'm almost tired of talking about Myles Garrett, but I did think this was interesting.
Yes, read that paper from ESPN.
This is one of the things ESPN's been doing over the last couple of days, and we're going to talk about some more predictions that they have for next season coming up top of hour number 2. We'll go down that road. But yesterday they put out this one move that you believe that X team should make.
Yes.
And I believe this is Mike Tannenbaum. The name got cut off, but I think this is from Tannenbaum, who says, if the Lions are one player away, they have enough cap space to go out and get Myles Garrett. The Lions fell apart in the postseason when most of their defense went down injured, but they were looking for a second pass rusher to play alongside Aiden Hutchinson even before the injuries. They signed Marcus Davenport to a one-year deal from the Saints. He played 2 games before suffering a torn triceps. A few weeks later, Hutchinson went down. Davenport is a free agent, while Hutchinson still has 1 year left in his rookie deal. The Lions might be worried about he won't immediately return to his prior level of play, which had him as a strong candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. They don't have a quarterback on a rookie deal, but as one of the team's youngest one of the league's youngest teams. They have key contributors on both sides of the ball that are on team-friendly contracts. $56.7 million in projected cap space. That is enough space over the next couple of years to trade for Garrett and sign him to a new deal. It would be a huge bet, but if Detroit thinks they're one player away, is there a better alternative than Myles Garrett? He believes that the Detroit Lions should mortgage the farm and go get Myles Garrett. That's a former general manager in this league who led teams to back-to-back AFC championships. He thinks that if you are that close to a championship, you've got to do whatever you've got to do to go get that player. I agree with him. It is good. It's good. Here's why I like it. Because, number one, I thought that the minute I watched the Philadelphia Eagles play. Yeah. And number two, you want some sort of validation in your thought process. And when a former GM is saying exactly the same thing that we've been saying all along, that I've been saying all along, it does make you feel good. And I did not consider this part of the equation something that Mike Tannenbaum suggested. We just automatically think that after a year and a half of not playing football or whatever, that Aiden Hutchinson is going to come in and have 8 sacks in 5 games.
Yeah.
It's probably going to take him a little while to get going. Maybe. I mean, I think it is. You would be able to tell me more.
We'll talk to Dr. Pierce today.
Yeah. I mean, you would tell me more than anybody, and we'll talk to Dr. Pierce about it. But if you think that Hutchinson is just going to come back and play Defensive Player of the Year level in Game 1, you're probably not thinking straight.
Part of the conversation that we had last week when we first started talking about Myles Garrett and the potential for a trade, I mentioned the fact that it would be great to have Myles Garrett because of the first 6 weeks of the season. First 6 weeks of the season, Aiden Hutchinson is going to have to figure itself out. He's going to have to figure out the confidence level that he has in his leg, in his strength, pushing off. Like, it's a major part of what he does is pushing off the ground, putting his feet, putting 10 toes down into the dirt or into the turf and exploding, like trying to get past the left tackle or the right tackle. So it's going to be tough in the first. I remember coming off an injury. I tore my ACL, and it's not even about ligaments versus bone. It's just that timidness. You have a lot of timidness when you first start. So if you have a guy that is the guy that can get you over these first 4, 5, 6 weeks, and then eventually now 97 takes his place, you're running roughshod. But that is definitely a part of it. Who knows what 97 is going to be for those first, 5 to 7 weeks of the NFL career. He had a major injury last year. Like, we cannot gloss over that. It was a compound fracture. So having a guy like Myles Garrett, and I said the same thing yesterday, and we talked about it. If you're one guy away, if you have these lower first-round picks, you can package it up. That window does not last forever, and you're getting closer and closer. But you're seeing, now that you're good, Ryan, your team is good. When your team is good, this stuff happens. Good players walk out of the door or get traded all the time because you can't pay for everybody when your team is winning 15 games, 14 games, 12 games. So I agree with you. I've said it a million times. Myles Garrett is the player. If it's not, then you need to show me that you care.
Matt, before I just want to, and I feel like Myles Garrett is interchangeable with Max Crosby and to some extent Micah Parsons. Okay, like if the Lions made a trade for Micah Parsons or Max Crosby, that is my thought process is getting one of those 3 players, getting a player like that is so dominant that gives you exactly what you need opposite Aiden Hutchinson. It's much like, I don't know if you remember the draft a couple of years ago. I was like Bijan. I got the player wrong, but the thought process was totally correct in that they got Jahmyr Gibbs. They valued Jahmyr Gibbs over Bijan Robinson, but the thought process is the same. So if you value Max Crosby more than Myles Garrett, by all means, go get Max Crosby. It's the same thing to me. Does that make sense?
Totally. We just want one of those guys on this team, and it's going to cost you. And yesterday I brought up the 2 draft picks, and I brought up Kirby Joseph. I want to get your opinion. Kirby Joseph, you can't do a 5th year with him because he was a 2nd-round pick. So you either got to pay him or you got to let him play out his contract and make a decision because you got other guys to pay. And if you go out and get a big-time outside guy like Garrett, like Hendrickson, like Micah Parsons, like Max Crosby, you can't pay everyone. Go back to 2015. They had to let Sue go because they had Calvin and Matt Stafford. Back then it was even worse than it is now. But it's out there for you. You can't keep everybody. And Braylon brought it up yesterday. As good as you are, and the more you fall in love with these players, you just think you want to roll the same team back every year. It's not going to happen. There's going to be some casualties of the cap. And if you want to get a guy, you got to pay to play. So if 2 picks and a Kirby Joseph get the deal done, I say you go out and do it.
I think the other thing, too, we talked about yesterday, Ryan, is, when you have a monstrous defensive line, and let's just, for S's and giggles, let's say that it's Ayton and Aleem and DJ Reader and Myles Garrett or insert, next guy at that level, it makes the secondary's job a lot easier. Like, Kirby Joseph is a ball hawk. You see the stat, 17 interceptions since he's into the season. But if you got Myles Garrett, and you have Aiden Hutchinson, and you have that defensive line, and you have a Jack Campbell who's getting better, Alex Anzalone that's now back to full speed, a guy that was gotten better and better and better. Your secondary doesn't have to be elite. One of the conversations we had was the 49ers. When the 49ers were running roughshod with Hargraves and Armstead and Bosa and Greenlaw and Fred Warner, I really only knew one corner on their team. You didn't have to have an elite safety. You didn't have to have an elite other corner or left or right corner, as they call it, because that defensive line and that linebacker core was so intact. So if you get a guy like Myles Garrett, or if you make a play, whether it's in the draft or some other, to get a guy like that, your secondary doesn't have to be that elite. And oh, by the way, I just looked at the secondary list for who's the best safeties in the league. You still have another top 7 safety on your team in Brian Branch.
And no disrespect to the Philadelphia Eagles secondary, but Darius Slay is not Darius Slay of 2016.
No.
He's lost a little bit of a step.
Or 2021 for that
Or
matter.
2021. Yeah. And, oh, by the way, Cooper DeJean, albeit love the guy. I mean, love the guy. He's a nice player. But if Cooper DeJean was a cornerback on the Detroit Lions, he would not be as good as he is now.
No.
I don't believe so. I just don't believe he would be. Because you've got to guard guys a lot longer
but
for
he's
the
got
Lions.
Help. You got Branch and Kirby out there.
Yeah.
Those two help each other.
And
Cooper DeJean was the pick, and they didn't get him.
He was
didn't get him.
20 picks earlier, but at the same time,
Quinyon Mitchell was the pick.
I'm just saying, your cornerbacks are a lot better if they only have to cover for 2.4 seconds than 4.2 seconds.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I totally get it.
That's all I'm saying.
I totally get it.
All right, guys.
That said, the Eagles got it right.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. When we come back, I want to take a look at some of the predictions that ESPN has for Super Bowl 60. And of the 13 experts that they poll, how many of them have the Lions in the Super Bowl next year? We'll have that for you. But first, a message from Planet Fitness.
Every day you hear me say it, and every day I say it for a reason. Your fitness is essential, so you got to come on down to Planet Fitness. Fitness that fits into your budget. They're not trying to charge you an arm and a leg to work out. Fitness definitely fits into your budget, man. There's a trainer with every membership that you got. From the lowest to the highest memberships, you got a trainer at your disposal with each of those. And then also, too, there's no judgment. So you come down, you have a good time, you have a great time, you enjoy. Work out at your pace to get in the shape that you want. But just remember, summer's coming. Summer is coming, so you want to get in shape.
Big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Detroit has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, gang, dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Well, Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's $5,000. That's going right in your pocket. Call Mark White and his team today. 248-290-8242. Visit him online as well, markwhitesells.com. Again, Mark White and Associates, 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Hour number 2 of the program. How's everybody doing out there? Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway, Pete Spivak, and Ricky Burns alongside. This is interesting. In one of the comments in the chat, and I appreciate it, and I truly understand it. It was, and of course it. I don't. Oh, here we go from Greg 2025. Appreciate Greg's
comments.
My guy.
guy.
Yeah, we love Greg. Too early to talk Super Bowl. Tune it down with that, please. and I fully understand and I fully appreciate that. I think one of the reasons why I was so intrigued by this is because I like to see or get a sense of
where we are,
how people feel about the Detroit Lions moving forward.
We like the love. We want to see how much love we're getting.
There were 13 experts that had a series of predictions, and we'll go through some of those predictions.
I want to say something.
Super Bowl 60, one move you want to see this off season, which team will take a step back. So they went through it, but go ahead, Maz.
I was disappointed in what I read.
Yeah? What do you mean? Which one?
The Super Bowl selections.
Oh, so well, okay, so I got to change in my mind how I wanted to do it, but I was going to ask you guys, how many people of the 13 experts do you believe picked the Detroit Lions to win the Super Bowl next year?
To win it?
To win it.
6.
Out of 13 experts, I'm going to go with 2.
3?
0.
1.
What?
Matt Bowen.
Matt
Bowen predicted that the Lions will beat the Ravens in Super Bowl 60. So we got that. How about it, huh? It's pretty good.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt Bowen.
I hope we're not the Ravens, and the Ravens in the sense of every year, who do people pick in the AFC if it's not Patrick Mahomes? Every year you're thinking is the year for Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Every year it's like I picked them last year, I picked them the year before that. Like, I'm going to just keep picking them until they win. I hope the Lions are not the Ravens.
Here's what he says. He says, even with the departure of defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn and offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, this is still Dan Campbell's football program. Mm-hmm. And with pass rusher Aiden Hutchinson anchoring a healthy defense, the Lions will edge out Lamar Jackson in Super Bowl 60.
Edge him out.
Edge him out. So there you go. You got one winning the Super Bowl. How many do you think? How many of the 13 experts do you think have the Lions in the Super Bowl? We now know that there is one to win it.
Yeah.
How many have them just to be in it?
6.
2, says Pete.
I know.
I'm not going to have you play along anymore without the mic. Well, I'm sorry. All right. Unless you put the camera on yourself when you go like this. How about that? 2. Okay. Mavs? 3. And Ricky?
I'm going to stick with 1.
1. There are 4 total experts that have. So Maz is kind of right. 3 additional experts. 3 additional experts. So of the 13 experts, 4 have the Lions in the Super Bowl. 3 of them have them losing in the Super Bowl.
Gotcha. Do they say who we lose to?
Yes. So you've got the Bills over the Lions.
Okay.
The Bills over the Lions. The Ravens over the Lions.
And the Lions over the Ravens.
And the Lions over the Ravens. So there's that. What do you think so far?
I just didn't like the rhetoric. Go back to what the person that picked.
Matt Bowen.
Matt Bowen.
He picked the Lions to win, and he said, Ben Johnson left, Aaron Glenn left, but Dan Campbell's still there. I like that side of it. But then what he goes on to say is that with a healthy Aiden Hutchinson, he will anchor that defense, and that'll be enough. We don't know that. And I don't think that's a fair comment to make. We don't know what Aiden's going to be at 97 at the beginning of the year, especially what the other side looks like. We don't know if that defense is going to be enough to get it done. So I wish there would have been more, maybe mention the offense or something like that. But I don't know if Aiden Hutchinson's going to be healthy enough as an anchor for that defense.
All right. So
let's go around and see our Super Bowl.
Well, wait a minute. Can you let me finish for a second?
I'd love you to finish.
All right. There are 4 teams outside of the Lions mentioned as a representative in the Super Bowl for the NFC.
Wow, 4?
4.
Eagles.
Jeez.
Eagles. How many people do you believe have the Eagles in there?
Out of 13?
Out of 13.
10.
And 4 have the Lions.
So 7.
No. 6. No.
7.
No.
4.
4.
Hey.
4 people have the Lions.
Commanders.
4 people have the Eagles.
At least.
That leaves 3 teams.
8.
Green Bay.
3 teams.
Commanders.
No, if you're 8 out of 13, that's 5 to go.
5 to go. 5 to go.
Commanders.
Commanders with 2.
Commanders.
Green Bay.
Green Bay with 2. Come
And
on
then
now.
No, there's no one.
Leave.
Vikings.
49ers?
Oh, you were Braylon. I thought you were gonna spit it right out.
Vikings?
You had it.
The Vikings?
No, you had.
Oh,
I feel
Rams?
like yes.
All right.
The Rams.
Yeah, you called it.
The Buffalo breakthrough will happen with the team that adds a key player this offseason. The Rams are not far off. Their defense will be elite next season.
It is.
I agree with that.
They are elite.
Now, see that I believe in.
They scare the daylights out of me.
So 4 people have the Lions, 4 people have the Eagles, 2 have the Commanders, 2 have the Packers, 1 has the Rams. By the way, Eagles 4 Super Bowl selections, 3 have a loss, 1 win.
Oh wow,
interesting.
No
Commanders both losses. Packers 1 win, 1 loss. Rams a loss. Lions 3 losses, 1 win. No repeat.
That's tough, man. That's tough.
It's
going to be a lot of parents. It's going to be a lot of fun. Like this year in the NFC, it was pretty much, it was the Vikings, the Lions. It was our division, and then the Eagles. But this year, I think it spreads around, man. Like I think you might be the number 1 seed this year in the NFC. 13 wins.
But again, it goes back to take the Rams out of it. Who are the other teams that the Lions are competing in the NFC with for the Super Bowl? They're competing with the Eagles, they're competing with the Commanders, and they're competing with the Packers. All 3 of those teams have been associated with Myles Garrett. And again,
don't throw the Vikings out of that either.
Well, no, okay, but I'm just talking about these teams right here that the national media perceives as the elite NFC teams, and those are all teams on Myles Garrett, and it just sometimes you just gotta play keep away too, Bray.
Yeah, just like you said, one player can change the narrative. If you add Myles Garrett to the Vikings, they become one of those teams that we're talking about, man. Like Myles Garrett is that good of a player. He's gonna change somebody's dynamic. Like the team, and just look, it could be the Eagles. Like for much as we make of these other teams, what if it's the Eagles?
Oh, God.
You know who they're right in is.
That would not be fair.
It's Mitchell. Mitchell's contract is up. They don't have to pay Mitchell. Brandon Graham is leaving. Darius Slay is leaving. Like the Philadelphia Eagles, you know what Howie Roseman is about. He is not about resting on his laurels. He didn't do it in 2018. He didn't do it after 2022. He damn sure isn't going to do it after 2024. There is a move and there's conversation happening in Philly the city of brotherly love, I swear to God right now, they're trying to find a way to maneuver to get number 97.
They're having their parade today. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Did you see all of that?
Yeah, that's great.
Just a quickie. Pete, put Quinyon Mitchell at the parade today. Quinyon Mitchell's having himself a day today at the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl parade. We can listen to it. Are having a great time. Do you know Philadelphia gave all the schools off today?
Yeah.
All the kids were off today from public school.
If you think about it from Quinyon Mitchell's standpoint, like you went to the University of Toledo. Like you made it from the University of Toledo to the first round to a Super Bowl champ as a first year. Shout out to the Mac, by the way. I see you over there, Mac. Pete. Like, so for him, his energy is called living on cloud nine because that's where he's at.
Yep.
To end up at Toledo, that means people didn't think highly of you. So then that means you said F you, kept balling, kept working, you kept getting to that point. Then you get drafted in the first round. You go to the Eagles and you win the Super Bowl. Like, that is exactly what that energy is. I couldn't imagine what that energy feels like.
And a little liquor mixed in there, too.
Liquor curds. You know what I'm saying? It only heightens who you are.
Hey, by the way, just interesting, a little tidbit, too, of these 13 experts. Go around the room. How many of these experts do you think have the Chiefs in the Super Bowl next year?
0.
Wrong. 11. Wrong.
2.
Wrong.
4.
Wrong. 1.
I was thinking 1.
Only one expert has
That's
the
crazy.
Chiefs in the Super Bowl next year. It's Dan Graziano, who has Chiefs over Commanders. He says, I'm not taking the result of one game to mean the Chiefs are done winning Super Bowls with Patrick Mahomes. Look forward to 2 weeks of, is Jaden Daniels the next Patrick Mahomes conversation leading up to the Super Bowl next year. I think, and I told you my bold prediction for 2025 is that the Chiefs miss the playoffs altogether. My only problem with pounding my fist on the table with that is I just don't have a third wildcard team that I fully believe can overtake them. You know, there's just nobody in the AFC. Now, that may change with all this quarterback roulette.
In the draft.
Yeah. Not even the draft, because there's really no quarterback. Like, I don't think Shedeur Sanders is going to turn the Raiders into a playoff team or anything like that. Or Cam Ward turning, where would he go?
Top 3.
Maybe
the Giants.
Maybe the Giants. I don't think he's doing that. I don't think he's,
Tennessee might take him. Yeah, they have the number 1 pick.
But that is my only problem from fully committing to the Chiefs not making the playoffs next year.
Look, it's going to be a gauntlet going through the AFC West next year. You know, Sean Payton is going to be much better as the Broncos head coach. You look at Jim Harbaugh. He made the playoffs in year 1. He won 11 games. That team looked a lot better, and it was the same team. Now he has an offseason to get better. The Raiders, they're going to get better. They'll be a better team. I don't know what that is, but they'll be a better team. It's going to be tough. 100%. It's going to be tough for the Chiefs this year. It's going to be tough. Get through the regular season. But at the same time, I think Brad Beach is a good GM. We've given him a lot of credit over the past years. Let's not stray now when the times look down for them. I think with 15, Andy Reid, Brad Beach, and you still have a great young core of defensive guys. You got a lot of young guys on that defense, man. Karlaftis, McDuffie. So I think that they will be fine on the defense. Offensive line is still decently intact. I think they make moves in the offseason. One of the ones that we mentioned yesterday, a guy by the name of Deebo Samuel. He's on the chopping block. He already asked his team, I want to be gone. This is a player that can come in. He's a similar style receiver than they've had in the past. Kadarius Toney and the other losing, Mikael Hardman. He's just much better than those guys. So I think they know that. They'll make a move. They'll find a player or players, and they'll compete. But, Ryan, you're right. It will be much tougher for them this season.
Speaking of the Chiefs, Pete, we can go around the NFL here. Travis Kelce, they have given him till March 14th-ish to make a decision if he's going to play.
I think that's fair enough,
or he's going to retire. What do you guys think?
I think that's totally fair enough. I think he's done. There were some of these plays at the Super Bowl. Have you seen videos of the Super Bowl of him not even getting off the line? Ugh. Like, hut, everybody moving around him, and he's not even, like, out of his stance yet.
Were they down by 30 at that point?
No.
No, it was like first half. There was a play where Mahomes was scrambling and he just kind of stopped at midfield. Didn't scramble. He's done.
He's gassed.
He's done. And you know what? And that's okay. Travis Kelce, probably wrong by me, but ever since he started dating Taylor Swift, I think he's turned into something that I don't care for as a sports fan.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because who cares about what I think of him? He used to be a guy's guy, and now he don't seem like a guy's guy anymore.
Well, go ahead.
And my last part about this is it is okay for a 34-year-old man to want other things in his life. You know what I mean? And it just feels like he wants other things in his life, and that's okay. There's a line in Rocky 3. Mickey sitting with Rocky, and he says, the worst thing happened to you that could ever happen to a boxer. You got civilized. And I feel like that is the worst thing that ever happened to Travis Kelce as a football player. As a football player, you quit being a football player and you want to be, you love being a celebrity. You quit being a football player and you want to be like a celebrity and do all these things now. And that's okay. I wouldn't like it if I was a Chiefs fan, but you don't have to like it. It's human nature and good for Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I would simply say that everything you said is true. It just seems like whatever the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, Kansas City Chiefs experience has been over the last 2 years or so, it's worn him down. It's worn him down. I saw it, and I'm telling you, I keep going back to it. I saw him when he was getting on that bus and he showed the outfit. He just didn't look there. And then you saw him out in warm-ups, man. As we talk, I watched the whole warm-up because it's Super Bowl Sunday. It's Super Sunday. He just never looked in tune with the game. So when Ryan says play, I saw it in pregame warm-up. When he was talking to me, he just did not look there when the game started. That first pass he dropped, man, that was in the first quarter. That was in the first quarter on third down. He did not look there on that play. I see a guy that is tired of everything that has come with this new persona. This last 2 years, I see a guy that is spent, absolutely spent. He's just finished his 12th year. If he continues this, whatever it is with Taylor Swift, I think he retires.
Even if he doesn't, though, I think he's just done.
I'm saying the same.
Yeah, you know better than anybody.
No.
You want to go through all these workouts? It's not just about playing the season. It's about doing all the off-season workouts.
Not only that, guys, he's a villain now.
Well, yeah.
People don't like him. They don't like her anymore.
Right.
I mean, she got booed at the Super Bowl.
Right. But I think that was the Eagles crowd 80%.
I understand that.
Okay.
But we're all fatigued of him. We're all fatigued.
Yeah.
You don't like who you are. When you don't like what's going on, it doesn't matter. You're no good in any aspect of your life. If you don't like what's going on, he looked spent. So many aspects of his life. So I think it's over.
I was going to ask you this when Joik was here the other day, Braylon, but I'll ask it now.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that people like us will never understand. The game retires 99% of the people in the NFL. The game retires you. But if you are one of those people that are fortunate enough to call it quits on your own, what are some of those things that people are thinking about right now? The Travis Kelce's of the world, or the Jason Kelce's last year, or a Frank Ragnow potentially. What are players considering who, at the end of the year, this happens, and they're do I really want to go through all this again? What do I want to do? When deciding to retire, what are these players thinking of right now? What's Kelce thinking right now?
How does my body feel? Where's my body at? How long is it going to take me from this Super Bowl to whenever to feel some level of norm, whatever that level is for him, and finishing year 12? Do I feel like going through this again? Because in year 12, you're more than just a guy on the team. In year 12, after winning 3 Super Bowls, you're not a guy on the team. You're a guy that's a leader. You're a veteran. You're a mentor. You're helping young players out. You're going over that's taskful. That's taxing on your energy, taxing on your time. Also, what's the new regime? Oh, it's another year. Now you got to deal with a whole 365 days worth of headlines. More headlines, more stuff on IG. Now I got to deal with all that. Now I have to deal with, are we watched? Are we going to get back? What's going on with me and Taylor? What was up with my performance? What are my political views? There's so much that goes on to your mind. It's is it even worth it to come back? And the biggest thing is, have I prepared for this? If you prepare for it, Jason Kelce prepared for it. Like, he left a team that had the potential to win a Super Bowl. Maz, what did they do? They won a Super Bowl. Yeah. He could care less. He was happy for them, but he was happy with his career. He's fun on TV. He's fun on ESPN. He's on every commercial. They allow him to do what it was. He had a plan in place that he was comfortable with walking away from a team that was still intact to be a real threat. And they won a Super Bowl.
He brought up Deebo Samuel's name.
Oh, God, did you see him?
Deebo Samuel is 20-plus pounds overweight.
Oh, man.
He looks like me.
And
he was fat last year, especially at the end.
I think you look better.
I think I look better than
Deebo
Deebo as well.
Deebo is going to be released by the 49ers by the June 1st date.
Did you see the picture, Deebo? Do we have that?
I don't, but I saw the picture.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he was wearing an Eagles jersey.
Yes.
He was wearing an Eagles jersey.
You get fat when you're over it. Like, and it sucks. When you're over it, your team's bad. Deebo's
You ever get fat?
I did. And it's funny, it happened in San Fran. Like, I was, like, legitimately, like, I was ready. Like, I came in for the training camp. I took Michael Crabtree's job. I was ready. Second game of the season. Tore my meniscus. Had to go through surgery. It was a bot surgery. And like, you're going out more. You're at home. You're drowning your sorrows just a little bit more. And you look up, you out of shape. You know, you look up and you gain lbs. Like, when it's going bad, athletes tend to go to the bottom, you know, and he's outside.
That's my problem as well.
When it's going bad.
My problem.
Oh, he's like somebody's uncle.
Think about it. Look at that.
Like, depressed people eat.
That's
that's
Deebo Samuel. That's not like
that's
some
Deebo Johnson.
retired player.
This is a guy that had a special done on him. Netflix did wide receiver.
That's a
he was
rapper.
one of 4 wide receivers.
That's
a rap.
That's a
That's
rap.
a rap.
Right.
Dude, that's a wrap on your career. Who's he beating off the line? Is he beating your buddy Cooper DeJean
Pause.
off the
Big
line?
time. Pause.
Pause.
Double pause.
Oh, my God. That was a pause.
God. Come on,
Now, look,
man.
he can get back in shape.
Let me ask you this question. I'm glad you said that, because, yes, that is the question. Can you get back in shape? Here's a better question. Name me the person who, once the fat kind of narrative started, overcame it. Just think about it.
Luka?
Once that fat narrative starts, what's the guy that got in shape and beat it? Because it wasn't Eddie
I have
Lacy.
taken a shot.
It wasn't Eddie Lacy. It wasn't Mike Williams. It wasn't Shawn Rogers. It wasn't Zion Williamson, although that one might change. Once that fat narrative gets on you,
How about Shaq?
How about Luka?
James Harden?
Shaq still was fat. Shaq just was so great.
What about
he overcame. Shaq was fat with Miami, but he won a championship. Pause.
James Harden
You
got
said
fat to
Luka?
get traded.
What about
Yeah,
Luka?
James Harden.
Still
James
fat.
Harden.
James Harden hasn't overcome it.
Luka.
He had the bodysuit on, and after
Yeah.
that, what has he done since then?
Yeah, you're right.
He didn't
You're
overcome it.
How about Luka?
Luke.
He's in L.A. now.
First of all, Luka's been in the league 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a part of this. Like, you're young still at 5 years in. Luka's only 24. But he overcame it, maybe, but they got cut.
How about Fat Lever? Only kidding.
All right, you took it too far back. But I'm just saying, once that fat narrative gets on you, name me the player that has overcome it. Name me the player that is like, oh, you know what? No. What's the other player that said? And I was recently the running back from LSU, Fournette.
Fat.
Yes.
Remember having Fournette? He said, no, I'm in shape. We ain't seen Fournette since.
Well, guys, it happened last year, and apparently it happened this year again. Breaking news in the NFL: 2 people have been shot at the Philadelphia Eagles parade.
Man.
Come on.
2 women were shot during a reported dispute at the Eagles parade. Both are in stable
Can't take y'all
condition,
nowhere.
being treated for gunshot wounds to the leg
What are you fighting over?
at the hospital. But again, happened last year in Kansas City. A shooting happened this year in Philadelphia.
Kansas City said if they had won the Super Bowl, they were not going to have a parade.
Which I don't think is the right thing either.
Yeah.
They would have had it at the stadium.
That's
or
just
something.
giving up. You can't give up. But yeah, that's pretty tough, man. That's pretty tough.
That's terrible.
Crazy. Unbelievable.
And how about the kid that fell off the pole a couple of weeks ago in
Oh,
Philly?
he died.
Well,
He
yeah.
died.
I'm
That was at
sorry.
the NFC Championship. You shouldn't have been doing that.
I'm sorry for him.
Nah,
I
that's
really am.
a
But
kid.
what are you knocking these
I know.
poles down for?
I know.
Like swinging. Like
I don't get it.
I
don't get it.
respectfully.
I don't get it.
Respectfully.
I just never understood this, and I never understood it. When you have success, or your team has success, or there's something to celebrate, like tear poles down,
Right.
Like tear stuff down. Like I've never understood that concept. I never have, and I never will.
No.
Don't celebrate. Like put your Eagles t-shirt on, man.
Yeah,
Get drunk.
That's it.
Maybe that's the problem.
Guys, Dr. Jeff Pierce coming up in about 15 minutes from now. I do want to tackle some of these the one off-season move you want to see. There is a Lions move on here, as you could expect. You know what it is. And then which team step forward, step back. We can do that as well. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Get to Les Stanford today for the sign and drive sale. Get a 2024 Envision, only $239 per month. Or you could try out the 2025 Sierra Crew Cab Elevation for only $249 per month. Don't forget about the 2025 Hummer EV SUV, $789 per month. Zero security deposit, zero due at signing, zero first month payment, zero acquisition fee. Get to Les Stanford today. Check out their massive inventory. Sign and drive sale. Les Stanford Buick GMC. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at LesStanford.com today.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Hey, gang, at Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, we take the chore out of getting a haircut. Our talented stylists deliver an industry-leading haircut, relaxing scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome. Guys, Dr. Jeff Pierce is here, so I'm going to do a short segment so I can get him in. Maybe we'll keep the one off-season move you want to see teams make, because the Lions is self-explanatory, but there are some other good ones on here throughout the NFL. I do want to do step forward, step back, if we could. I think.
And I got some NFL stuff too.
Good. Okay. Very good. And instead of taking this list, let's just go throughout the NFL.
Okay.
Okay, Braylon, Maz, you ready?
I am.
Okay. Give me a little beat here, Ricky. Just something to...
A Ricky beat.
Yeah, a little Ricky beat. All right, I'm just going to go through the NFL. You tell me whether you're going to take a step forward in 2025 or a step back in 2025.
Sounds good.
All right, Buffalo Bills.
Back.
Forward.
Miami Dolphins.
Back.
Forward.
New York Jets.
Maintain, which is, I guess, it's taking a step back. Forward.
Yeah, how much back can they go? Forward.
New England Patriots. This could be my next wild card team. This could be the team, to me, that
Vrabel.
could get into, especially if they sign
Williams.
If they sign T. Higgins.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a forward.
Forward.
Okay. Baltimore Ravens.
Only way to go forward is go to the Super Bowl at this point. So no. Back.
I'm gonna say they're going backwards.
I agree.
Have they peaked?
I think so.
Have they peaked under this current situation?
Derrick Henry's not going to get any better than he is.
No.
He's not. Lamar Jackson?
The only reason why I don't know if they've peaked, the defense showed some signs of getting back to the defense that they used to be. Marlon Humphrey had a really good year. Kyle Hamilton's the best safety in the league. Like, all-around safety is Kyle Hamilton. At least right now it is. Shout out to Easy, because Easy said we should have drafted him 2 years ago. He really wanted him. But you got some young studs over here, so it's close.
Pittsburgh.
They're gonna need a new kicker.
Pittsburgh.
He didn't do anything last year anyway.
Yeah, that's because he knew.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Beep.
Back.
Beep.
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
Forward.
Forward down the field.
Cleveland.
Forward.
Got to be
back.
Back from 3-14.
Same then.
They lose Myles Garrett.
Yeah. Right. Houston.
Forward.
Yeah, me too.
Indianapolis.
Wait a minute, on Houston. Stephon Diggs is a free agent. Do you know there's word on the street that the Lions are the favorite to get him?
Really?
Take over that Tim Patrick role.
First of all, that'd be idiotic. Like, you do not need to bring in Stephon Diggs, who's in year 11 at this point, or 10, whatever it is, coming off an ACL injury, and he's a smaller wide receiver.
That's why they take him, because he's coming off an ACL injury.
and that's what I don't need to see from Brad Holmes this year. I need this to be a injured player free off season.
Player.
Yeah, injured player free off season. I don't need you to draft an injured player. Young injured players become old injured players. I don't need you going to get them in the free agency pool. No injured players this off season.
Jacksonville.
Forward.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Strong forward too.
Tennessee
Strong forward.
Titans.
How much back can they go? They got the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
I think they stay the same.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't see him. I see him treading water.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Back.
They have to go back because they won 15 games. But I think they'll be a better team next year.
Chargers. 11 wins.
Forward.
Ooh. Denver Broncos. 10 wins.
Forward.
You know what I'm noticing? We got a lot of AFC teams going forward. We got a lot of AFC teams going
Which,
forward.
by the way,
makes sense.
Makes sense to my kind of Kansas City bold prediction.
You're getting close.
And then the Vegas Raiders. They still don't have a quarterback.
How
I'm
did
going
they
to
win
say bet
last year?
4.
What did they win last year?
4.
Brady's involved. They got to get better. I'm gonna go better.
I'll say they'll tread water.
He may can't do anything on Fox, but I think he can do things in the building.
All right, Eagles.
Forward.
You're right. 14 wins.
Forward.
Washington.
Forward.
12 wins.
Forward.
Dallas, 7 wins.
I think forward. I like what I saw their defense when Michael was hurt.
Giants.
Dallas will tread water. Giants are going forward.
Detroit Lions.
Backwards.
Got to be backwards, right? They're not winning 15 games.
But
it's
it's tricky because the defense, like when you look at all the injuries, that defense was a lot of room to grow. I'd say they stay the same.
Yeah, maybe a step back.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
They won't win 15
step
games.
back.
But
Green Bay, 11 wins.
forward.
Yeah, forward.
I think that's our real competition this year in the North.
Chicago.
Forward.
I think you're right about
Forward.
that.
Forward for sure.
Tampa Bay. 10 wins.
Forward.
Atlanta, 8 wins.
Forward.
Got every
Atlanta
team going forward.
Tampa backwards.
Here's another forward.
Baker Mayfield had 35 touchdowns last year. That ain't happening this year.
Here's another forward for you. Ready?
Yeah.
Carolina.
Yeah.
Bryce Young seems like he's starting to understand the NFL quarterback position. I like that.
New Orleans, 5 wins.
Backwards.
Yeah, they might get the number 1 pick next year.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Arch Manning going to New Orleans?
Oh, man.
Staying home.
Yeah. LA Rams.
Forward.
I agree. Because
what are they going to do, though?
Stafford or Rodgers?
What if it's not? What if it's neither?
Then backwards?
No, that defense is that good.
Yeah, that defense is, you got a point. Forward.
Seattle, 10 wins.
Backwards.
Arizona, 8 wins.
Backwards.
And San Francisco, 6 wins.
I think the Kyler Murray experience might be up after next year, man.
Yeah, they're an 8-9 win team.
Yeah.
All right, that was backwards forwards. Thanks so much, guys.
Backwards forwards.
Backwards forwards. Step back, step forward. Coming up next, Dr. Jeff Pierce in the studio. We're ready for him. How long will it take Aiden Hutchinson to regain his MVP form? We'll have that for you next. But first, a message from Soroki's.
All-Star Weekend, there are 3 days. You got tonight, you got the celebrity games. Tomorrow, you have All-Star Saturday, 3-point slam dunk, Rising Stars Challenge. And then on Sunday, that's right, on Sunday, you have the All-Star game. Wouldn't it sound good to have some wings with that? Wouldn't it sound good to have some of this crispy chicken or even the pizza? It doesn't matter which way you go at Soroki's. You can't go wrong. For a limited time only, the signature wings are here. 7 amazing flavors, lemon pepper being the best. It's gonna make you want some more. You gotta go back. Soroki's is the place, and don't forget about the honey biscuits. Soroki's were real fans' favorite.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? It is a new era in sports wearables. New designs, amazing apparel. It's all at shop.woodwardsports.com. Hoodies, tees, hats, they are all guaranteed to turn heads. Everyone's going to be asking you, where did you get it? I need to get that hat. I need to get that hood. I need to get that shirt. You just simply tell them shop.woodwardsports.com. Go there. Check out the new merch. We got it now. Waiting for you.
Now it's time, I jumped the gun there a little bit, to talk to our good friend, our WSN injury insider from the Michigan Sports and Spine Center. He is the one, the only, the traveling man, Dr. Jeff Pierce. How you doing, Doc?
I'm good. I have been traveling. It's been a whirlwind.
So, Florida, Israel, Paris, where haven't you been, I think, is a better question.
Michigan.
And who can blame me?
Right.
Look at this. It was so hard coming back this morning.
Oh, you got back this morning from Florida?
It was 80 degrees and sunny there, and I look on Birmingham, it said 8 degrees this morning.
No kidding.
Something's wrong with me.
Wow.
I said I'm not this dedicated to my practice, but I guess I am. I had to get back. But be in the studio live, I mean, that remote stuff was fun. But
yeah, I think you were in Israel, and it didn't really work that well.
He's at a jazz club.
Yeah, I was at a jazz club, and they were like the Wi-Fi, and then the lady was a little, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And then they shoved me away.
Oh, no kidding.
And then we lost. I tried to get
these Americans, get them out.
They don't.
I'm glad I caught myself out.
Tell the parent they don't like us in France.
No,
really.
Do they like us anywhere? Where do they like us?
Oh, Israel likes you.
Okay.
I mean, we're big brother to Israel. What are you talking about?
But they don't. They almost don't count.
I feel like France people, they never liked the Americans.
No, and I kind of came up with something, not to piss off the French people today, but
what are they gonna do?
It's just, I think we're not arrogant, we're not rude, we're just impatient how slow they go and how they answer things.
No sense of urgency.
They do like fresh bread.
I also feel like
I had more fresh bread than ever. The biggest thing from this trip, for the viewers, we eat a lot of processed bread.
Yeah.
When that bread is 7 days old and it still looks brand new, you got to be thinking twice of those preservatives. I mean, they're all about French.
I'll tell you, it's
everywhere, man.
not to get political, but I'd love to see some changes in what they do to this food here. I would love to see some changes.
That could be our topic today if that's what they want to hear. But it's honestly a big problem. I mean, our non-organic or overcharged organic, I mean, the whole thing does need to be looked at. I mean, the preservatives, the cancers, the illnesses, everything
is a money racket in America.
Yeah, I mean, when McDonald's went into China, they said the obesity level went up like the next day.
As a doctor though, I'm intrigued by this to a degree of when you see people come in who are overweight and they've got a knee problem or a back problem. I mean, that all adds up, right? If you've got a back problem and you're 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds overweight, that does impact your health. That does impact your body.
I mean, there's stats on it. We can talk about this, the true stats. The pressure, for every pound you're overweight, it's 6 pounds of pressure on your knee and hips. It's 4 to 6 pounds of more pressure, wear and tear on your hips and knees with every pound you're overweight.
I should have get out of bed then.
We'll roll you over for wound care.
For every 6 pounds you're over.
For every pound, it's 6 more pounds of 4 to 6 pounds
I got you.
of pressure on that joint. So yeah, I mean, you've taken, not to pick on you, but you've taken off a lot of weight.
Absolutely.
And you feel
better than I ever have. And I made no secret. I'm honest about it. I did the shot. Like, it's not Ozempic, but it's a knockoff. I did one of those compound pharmacies, and I did the shot, and everybody's talking about, well, the shot's not good for you, this, that, and the other thing. And maybe it's not, but it's not good for my heart, or it's not good for my knees, and it's not good for my back to carry an extra 30 pounds either. So, I mean, there's
there's a scale.
There's a balance there. I mean, would it be better if, yes, I ate right and exercised and went to the gym every day and did all that stuff? Yes, like Braylon. It would be great.
It's annoying, though, man. I wake up every day and go to the gym, and, every day I'm sitting down on the bench before I work out. I'm talking to you, and I'm like, I got to keep doing this?
Yeah, what am I doing?
You have these breakdowns. You have these moments where it's like, look, man, I don't feel like working out this week. I'll go through a strong 3 months, but after 3 months, I get to that point where I'm like, I can't do this every day. It's not my life. I don't work up, feel like this. And then I feel worse at the end of the week. I'm like, what did I really do?
Yeah, but, I mean, for the listeners, too, and for you, I mean, you got to switch it up. You got to keep it exciting. You don't have to pound weights the whole time. That's not the only exercise. I mean, like switching it off, doing kickboxing, there's a ton of different exercises that burn cardio and maintain. I mean, you put on a lot of muscle. You've put a lot of muscle back on your body to maintain that. Yeah, but for someone that's getting, I'm not going to pick on age, but once you start getting past your 30s to 40s, you're into maintaining. You're not necessarily bulking. So you can do that with variety of exercise.
A lot of body weight exercise. I feel like that when I take care of myself, it's a lot of body weight stuff. But like to your point, I have picked the weights up again, so guilty as charged. I got to put them down.
Before I get into that, just talking about the food, a lot of people are into fasting. Are you a believer in that? Is that a healthy way, quote unquote, healthy way to on a scale of different things to do?
There's criticisms that you're eating up your own you're dropping carbs, you're doing everything. Are you eating up your protein? Are you eating up your muscle when you come out of your fasting? Mm-hmm. What are you really tearing down when you fast for that long? So it's intermittent fasting. So you don't necessarily live off your muscle. Live off your fat. You live off your muscle. So a lot of times, if you're not working out and you're just doing that, like the Ozempic people, you saw they lost a lot of muscle weight.
Right.
And that's a major problem because when you start leading to joints and you lose your muscle strength, you now put more wear and tear on the actual joint. You think about it. We have ligaments and all this whole structure, right? The whole structure, you got the bones, which everybody thinks that's all there is. No, there's ligaments and tendons and muscles. So the tendons are the thin part of the muscle. To simplify it, when you start putting more stress on that, you start putting more stress on the joint, and now you get more wear and tear. So it's a bad cycle that you want to go through. So everyone I talk to is in their teens and their 20s. The better you work at your infrastructure, your body, the longer you're going to go in the run. Like when you're a professional athlete, you're working all that. Your muscle, your infrastructure is great. So you can depend on it a little bit. But when you start doing Ozempic, we have a lot of people in the office. Granted, they're not having the same kind of back pain, but now they're having joint issues, right? Because they're wearing on that, especially repetitive job type of thing. So the pure balance is eat healthy. Work out well as a young kid. Be well balanced as a kid. Don't be sport specific only. Eat right. And the kids today are much smarter about what they're putting in their body. My son won't. He eats cleaner than me by far.
I've had a nephew like that.
I mean, they're more aware of it, especially the guys who are in the weight room. It's all, granted they're doing the protein shakes and they're doing the supplements, but they're more researched. And today, there's a lot out there if you want to pay attention.
When you talk about injury prevention, because I know one of the things I love about you is you're more of a holistic approach. I mean, let's not just fix this. Let's talk about how you can prevent it in the future as well. Talk injury prevention and anything like that. It's like a whole look at it.
Right.
Where are you on whether you're 30s, 40s, 50s, and even beyond cardio versus like strength training, weight training? Do you especially when it's cold like this outside?
You got to find your cardio. Your cardio is huge, right? It's like we're so worried about what we look like on the surface, right? And nobody's lifting the hood up. If we had to lift the hood on, 90% of these people that are doing all this crazy stuff for the outside look of their body, they don't look well inside. I mean, you got to respect your internal organs. Yeah, you're going to get through your 20s and 30s by trashing your body, but you're starting to feel it 40s, 50s, 60s. Like I have a friend, I was just in Florida, there was I'm a little bit older, he's a decade younger, but he lived fast, and he's paying for it, not just from a physical, but from a sexual, from everything. His performance everywhere he's in the hole. He's digging out of the hole, and to dig out of the hole in the decades of the 50s versus the 20s, God, that's night and day. You can't do it. The best thing is to scare these kids that are trashing themselves right now. With the vaping, I just came from Florida. I mean, someone came up to me and asked me if I wanted to be a little, I'm like, girl, you know who you're talking, it's like cocaine and vaping, and there's so much drugs that they feel is like, that's the way of life. I'm like, you know what you're going to look like in 10 years? And I like, God, you're such a downer. But it's true. If I can be rude to them at this age to throw the brick in their head, or any viewer, don't take it for granted your youth. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of where you are now. Like a little injury, like I love when these guys get, little injuries. I mean, Hutchinson was a big injury, but it's teaching them that they can't take it for granted at an early age. And that's what I do with a lot of my young patients. It sucks that you're injured and you're missing the playoffs. Like, we have a lot of hockey experience, but we teach them to be a better athlete. That's our opportunity to say, don't take it for granted. And it comes from, nutrition in the last 5 to 10 years. The science of nutrition has grown tremendously, that it's a major part of recovery. It's a major part of rehab. I mean, I had someone that said, I don't like drinking because it bothers my recovery from muscle. And I work out 5 days a week.
Do you think, just on that point, do you think these influencers or people on social media help or hurt that cause? Like, for instance, and somebody in the chat asked about this person, and I follow this person too. And I don't know if you've ever heard of Gary Brecka. Have you ever heard of Gary Brecka?
I think so. I think it's past that.
Yeah, who's the UFC guy?
Dana White.
Dana White swears by this guy and transformed his body and all that stuff. And I'm just always curious whether these guys hurt the cause or help the cause.
So I want to, like where we are with Woodward Sports, not to go off for a second before I answer your question, but I think and I'd love to hear from the chat, but that's exactly what I want to do. I want to give thumbs up and thumbs down on all these influencers. Yeah. Like, I always make the example, the pretty girl that's in Australia on the beach, and she's doing yoga moves and she's doing power, and they don't do it correctly for an injured person. This is an injury red flag versus the one that's doing it right. As far as him, I don't know him personally, and I'll be happy to watch some of the videos. But a lot of these guys, they're spot on. They're well researched. I mean, if you're getting, you're dealing with a healthy person. When you're dealing with a healthy person.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but somebody in the chat says, "I heard a small amount of coke is good for you."
Just a little bit.
That's a funny one, Robert.
Yeah,
Good one.
it's definitely
Sorry, Doc.
well,
I had to read that because it was
that-
hilarious.
Just a smidge.
That was her point too. But
Right.
How do we
But that's kind of what you want to do is have the chat be involved in our segments. Have the chat be involved in our segments with you, and if they've got questions, thumbs up, thumbs down. That's kind of what we want to do over the next couple of weeks and months too.
Yeah, no, I encourage it because I'm here. Yeah, it was fun working with the Lions and doing all that and getting all the views. But now it's like, how do I help the public? I mean, how do I help you answer your questions that are sitting out? And I try to come up with the general stuff, like we're bringing up, the prevention, the nutrition, all that stuff. That's really where I want, Injury Insider, whatever we're calling it, where we want to go out on site. We want to know what's, it is confusing. Because of my Instagram and I'm medical, I get so many things that come through that I'm like, it's confusing to me what's right. The weight loss for 40 and over, don't lose your muscle. It's a lot of, I'd say 75% is BS. Yeah. And 25% is good. Like, I always compliment Lisa McDowell, who's the nutritionist for the Red Wings. I mean, she is so smart and beyond, the 99% that are out there. You look at the Olympic level. What I always compare it to is the ones who deal with the Olympians, because they're dealing at fractions of seconds. Some of our, we got a little criticisms to our strength and conditioning coach for the Lions because of the injuries. The science is there. We don't have to fake it anymore. There's so much science out there, and there's so much analytical stuff. We can get you down to your speed, your cognition, your reaction times. We can really tease it all down. We can really peel it back if you want. And I think some of this stuff it's confusing to me, and I'd love to start, if the chat agrees, I would love to start focusing in, even like local workouts like Orange Theory and Cycle Bar, and the guy who's exercising people for $150 an hour, is he really making a difference? You got to go to Braylon's clinic before anything else.
Well, Doc, I promise you tonight at dinner that I will get a rotisserie chicken, some greens, and some carrots to make sure that I'm eating and putting the right things into my body. I feel personally attacked right now.
Personally,
I'm just joking.
I haven't.
It was a joke. It was you.
You know, that's one of the things we'll do. And so next Thursday or Friday, whatever
Yeah.
day you come in, we'll ask the chat for comments and questions leading up to the segment with you. So we'll have full bank of ideas.
Yeah, I want to know if it'd be cool, like the boss, how he goes in undercover.
Yeah.
I like to be like a workout person to get a. You guys are too
that's a
recognizable.
great-
but
yeah.
We'll go in undercover, do the
I'd love that.
true analysis. I met with the director of Orange Theory because I'm not a big Orange Theory fan, and she's like, "We've changed everything since you've been here. We would be honored for you to come in and
Oh my
and
gosh,
work
you
out."
got to check that out then.
Yeah, so
Undercover
we should
Doc.
start doing stuff like that.
Undercover Doc. Hey, Doc, one question for you. I got a minute or two left. One question for you. One of the ESPN guys talking about Aiden Hutchinson, and yes, he'll be technically healthy at the start of the season, but he's probably not going to perform at the Defensive Player of the Year caliber that he left off at. Do you buy that, A? And B, how long do you think will it take for him to get his legs under him and perform at that MVP type level?
I think I put it out already that I said he's going to do great. He's going to be ready for the season. He's going to do well. But I think his MVP comes the second or third year out. I think he does need to get everything back going. Will it take the whole season? He's not going to come out at his MVP level. But Hutchinson, I don't bet against him either. I mean, he's just one of those guys. Just like Mahomes. We said we wouldn't bet against him, and we probably should have. We would have done well. But with Hutchinson, I would say he's going to be with his real stride that second or third year because there's that confidence. Just like, oh my God, our receiver, J-Mo. He did all right, but he did phenomenal that second year. It's that confidence. It's the tweaking, right?
That's really important. Look, I think you're absolutely right about that, and that's one of the reasons why you really got to take a look at Myles Garrett this year. Because if Aiden Hutchinson is not going to be that guy until, not the 2025 season, but the 2026 season,
I think he's still going to be a force. But you're talking about being number one.
Yes.
He's still going to be in that top 10 category.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett, he's got his issues too.
Yeah.
He's not at MVP level, but
No.
if they can complement each other, and the Lions have, we don't have a hole in that system. That's a good team to play off of.
Dr. Jeff Pierce, our WSN injury insider, our wellness expert.
Yeah, we're switching it over. Huh?
We're whatever you want it to be, but Michigan Sports and Spine
And
Center.
that flexibility.
MichiganSportsandSpine.com if you want to get in touch with Dr. Pierce. Thank you, sir. Bray, get us out of here.
We appreciate Dr. Jeff Pierce as well as all our guests this week. Thank you for tuning in to Woodward Sports Network as well as Amani and Edwards with Maz. Man, we had a great week with you guys. Enjoy Valentine's Day. If you don't do anything at all, smile. All-Star Week. Watch your boy Cade Cunningham on Sunday. I won't say it again. For my man Ricky Burns, time as away. Peace by back, Ryan and Amani. We are Amani and Edwards and Maz, and we will see you mañana.